Another week brings yet another beautiful Monday night as we are live here for Monday Night Raw in the Lone Star State. We are live from San Antonio, Texas, and what should be a good show for the Red Brand here tonight. We will be back here in the Lone Star State in a couple of weeks for the Battleground Premium Live event in Fort Worth, Texas. But tonight, we are in San Antonio, the home of the San Antonio Spurs, who just made the NBA Finals. Unfortunately, it was a tough loss for them in the finals, but hopefully the WWE superstars here tonight on the Red Brand can bring some type of energy and some type of good vibes to this city. As we have a packed house live here tonight in San Antonio, and what a show we have lined up for you here tonight. Of course, the WWE Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer will be in the building tonight, and she is in 1v1 action. After the attack that Natalya issued upon Stephanie Vaquer with that steel chair, just a vicious assault last week, we get a rematch from the season premiere Raw. The Women's World Champion Vaquer goes 1v1 with Natalya here tonight on Raw. And then, of course, later tonight as well, the WWE World Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, will have their first matchup since winning those titles back at Backlash over the Usos. Motor City Machine Guns take on Julius and Brutus, the Creed brothers of American Made. And we've got a little bit of chaos brewing here on Raw. Nothing new there, as we have JC Jane and Fallon Henley. They are in the building as JC Jane goes 1v1 against Io Sky. JC Jane and Fallon Henley looking to cause a little bit more chaos in the women's division. Can Io Sky put a stop to it? More on that later tonight. But coming up in just a few short moments, ladies and gentlemen, the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, the Ring General, is in the building, and he will be gracing us with his presence. Gunther is live in just a few moments. All of that and more here tonight on Monday Night Raw. As that familiar music hits here in San Antonio, Texas. The Ring General with the gold around his waist. Gunther defeating CM Punk back in St. Louis at the Backlash Premium Live event, putting the best in the world to sleep. And that would secure Gunther the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther was out to prove that he was the best in the world, the best of this generation, and he might as well have proved that with his performance a couple of weeks ago. Gunther once again holding championship gold here in the WWE. Gunther knows a thing or two about championships. Of course, a former WWE United Kingdom champion, and then of course the longest reign as Intercontinental Champion, and of course a former multi-time world champion in his own right. He once again has the big gold around his waist, the top prize here on the Red Brand, and we're going to hear from Gunther. He's possibly going to gloat about how he defeated CM Punk, but regardless, he has this mic time so he can say just about anything he wants. The Ring General is here, and Gunther is live as our World Heavyweight Champion. Well, Gunther's out here talking about CM Punk. But there's another man that he should be worried about, and that is this man, the megastar, LA Knight, is in the building, and he is looking to get right in the face of the world champion. Well, I think we should have known that was going to happen, especially coming from Gunther. LA Knight coming out, laying down the law, laying down the challenge for Battleground for the world title. And of course, Gunther is going to say no. Well, you know, LA Knight, he's not going to stop pursuing the championship, but we've got to move on here as we've got tag team action to kick us off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a huge opportunity tonight for American Made to kick down the door here in WWE and find their place. And it is especially a huge opportunity for Julius and Brutus. Of course, taking on the World Tag Team Champions. And I guess besides the obvious factor of their strength advantage, another advantage you could say the Creed brothers have here tonight is that Motor City, this is their first matchup back since Backlash. And now granted, that's only been about a week, but a week out of the ring can really do a lot to you. So maybe, just maybe, that can be something that helps out the Creed brothers here tonight. We know Master Gable has been trying to get all of his proteges opportunities. Big opportunity for the Creeds tonight. And of course, Ivy Nile still looking for her huge breakout here in the WWE. Of course, the numbers are on the side of the Creed brothers here tonight in San Antonio, but I don't think it will worry these two men that often. It won't worry them too much. Very talented, very gifted, and once again, the Motor City Machine Guns hold gold. Chris Sabin on the right, Alex Shelley on the left, the Motor City Machine Guns, two very decorated superstars. Whether it's singles gold or tag team gold, it just seems like these two are magnets to championships. They attract championship gold wherever they go. And once again, as you can see, they have world tag team titles around their waist. Their first matchup as the tag team champions against two guys that have a lot of potential. They have just not been able to break that glass ceiling ever since moving up here to Raw and SmackDown. So here we go. This matchup gets underway. We have Chris Sabin starting things off with Brutus Creed. And as you can see out of the gate, Brutus Creed looking to use his strength and power advantage over Chris Sabin. That's possibly going to be the strategy that Master Gable laid out for the Creed brothers here tonight. Of course, still to come tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have the Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer 1v1 with Natalya. We'll have JC Jane and her chaotic partner in Fallon Henley. They'll also be in the building as JC Jane goes 1v1 with Io Sky. More on that later tonight as well. We will see, of course, Obafemi and Grayson Waller 1v1. We will get into that also a little bit later. But as of right now, we have tag team action kicking us off here tonight as Julius did get the tag in. And you can see out of the gate, Julius Creed using his advantages very, very well. With that stalling suplex right there, they have the cover on Chris Sabin, and there's a 2 count. Well, the referee says 1. I really thought it was closer to a 2. Is now Julius Creed a hold of Chris, but Sabin is able to fight out of that. Here comes Chris Sabin trying to fight his way back into this contest. As, oh my goodness, drop kick there into the corner. And right now, Chris Sabin trying to keep Julius Creed away from his brother. And now Chris Sabin with the hold of Julius into the corner of the Motor City Machine Guns. Here's the tag to Alex Shelley. And what we are about to see right here is classic Motor City. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is vintage Motor City. This is tag team wrestling. So wait a minute here. Well, we talked about the numbers game. As you can see, Chad Gable already getting into the face and the ear of Alex Shelley. But clearly that distraction did not work out very well. Motor City so far in control of this contest here tonight. Of course, won the World Tag Team Championships after a bout with Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. It was a solid matchup back at Backlash, but unfortunately for the Usos, they were not able to bring yet another tag team title reign to their resume. It was the Motor City Machine Guns that got the best of them on that night. As, oh my goodness, well, there goes Julius Creed taking down Chris Sabin off the apron. Trying to make sure Alex Shelley does not have any type of opening to try to get a tag. There's the tag into Brutus here. And now what's going to happen here? They both get in a 3-point stance here. Oh my goodness, double shoulder tackle. Double 3-point stance into the double shoulder tackle. And now the Creed brothers are really in control, starting to throw their weight around. Alex Shelley now leaning on the ropes here. Now down to the ground. What's Brutus looking to do? Oh my goodness, using that leverage of the rope to boost him up, and then a big boot to the gut. Alex Shelley, he's got to find a way back to his corner. He's got to find a way back to Chris Sabin. But as of right now, with the way Brutus Creed is pummeling him, I don't think that's going to happen. Alex Shelley having to use the ropes to help himself up, and he just got pounced over the top rope by Brutus Creed. Oh my goodness. And now Brutus follows him to the outside. Alex Shelley getting up to his feet and then immediately taken down by Brutus. Well, I've got to say, so far so good for the Creed brothers here tonight. They've looked pretty solid here in the middle of the squared circle against Motor City. The World Tag Team Champions so far not looking too good. As, oh my goodness, another senton there by Creed. Into the cover, has the shoulders down, does Brutus Creed. Alex Shelley, though, able to power out at 2. You saw Ivy Nile in the back of our screen there, taking off that turnbuckle padding. That's not good. I don't think Brutus has realized, though. As he gets the tag to his brother, in comes in Julius. What's going to happen here? Drop down, and now, oh my goodness, the overhead suplex. And now Chris Sabin looking for the tag again, but Julius Creed once again taking out Chris Sabin, and he falls off the apron. Some good tag team strategy right now by the Creed brothers, but here comes Alex Shelley trying to fight his way back into this contest, trying to fight his way to Chris Sabin. As now, oh, caught the kick there, did Julius Creed. And now off the ropes goes Chris Sabin, and now Julius, another overhead throw. Like we said, the power advantage for the Creed brothers is undeniable in this contest, and you are clearly seeing it. It's, oh my goodness, there goes Alex Shelley into the exposed turnbuckle. Well, we knew at some point that was going to get used, and now the big splash there by Julius. Onto the cover. This could do it. It probably would have done it if Chris Sabin didn't break it up. Now, Alex Shelley, I mean, he rolls out of the ring. He could have easily rolled to Chris Sabin, but I guess he wasn't really thinking in time. As now, oh my God, another overhead throw. As now, well, come on now. Once again, taking Chris Sabin off the apron. And I gotta say, I mean, this is perfect. This has been perfect so far by the Creed brothers in the last few moments of this matchup. Isolating Alex Shelley, making sure that he cannot get to Chris Sabin. And if there is some type of opening for that to happen, Chris Sabin is taken off the apron. Tag team excellence right now by the Creed brothers. As, oh my goodness, discus forearm. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. And clearly I did, because finally there's a tag. In comes in Chris Sabin, and he's fired up. Gets the cheap shot there on Julius Creed. One half of the World Tag Team Champions now, starting to fight his way back into this match. Look at the power with the power bomb. To the top rope now. Chris Sabin, the double foot stomp or a coup de grace. I don't think Finn Balor will be too happy he's using his move, but he's got the cover, and it's a kick out at 2. Maybe Finn Balor over on SmackDown can give them a few pointers on how to win some matchups with that. As now Brutus with a big clubbing blow to the back of the neck, slowing down the momentum that Chris Sabin was trying to build. Now he's thrown to the outside. Well, just like that, the momentum has been shafted. And the Creed brothers are back in control. Chris Sabin thrown back into the middle of the squared circle. Ivy Nile and Chad Gable watching very, very closely. Haven't really gotten involved as much in this match besides that one time Chad Gable tried to get Alex Shelley distracted. Clearly that didn't work, so maybe they changed up their strategy. I don't know. Now there's a kick to the gut by Chris Sabin as he fights his way back into the matchup with a Shining Wizard. And now Chris Sabin has a hold of Brutus. Sends him into the corner. Gets the tag to Alex Shelley once again. What's the game plan now? Oh my goodness. To the top rope now goes Chris Sabin. What's going to happen? Dropkick. Oh my goodness. Into face first goes Brutus. And so, wait a minute, well, here we go again. The numbers game trying their best to get involved once again. Ivy Nile and Chad Gable mouthing off to one half of the World Tag Team Champions. And Brutus, he ended up getting the tag. I don't think Alex Shelley realized it, as now Julius is back in the ring throwing the punches. Blocked one there, though, did Alex Shelley, trying to fight off Julius as much as he can. And now Alex Shelley drop toe hold. Down goes the Creed brother into the running double axe handle. And all Ivy Nile and Chad Gable can do at the moment is watch on. As here comes Alex Shelley, drop kick in the corner once again. And now Alex Shelley will head to the top rope. In the drop zone is Julius. And oh, he tries a coup de grace of his own. Well, he's not going for the cover off of that one. He's looking to deal a little bit more damage. Kick to the gut. And now Alex Shelley with a little bit of sliced bread. Oh, but Brutus is there to save his brother. And now look at this. Ivy Nile now getting involved. And this is just getting ridiculous. The numbers game clearly showing here tonight. And this is only the first matchup of the night. This is insanity. And so, oh my goodness, now Julius is looking to take advantage of it. You've got to be kidding me. Somebody get those two out of here. Referee Dan Angler's got to do something about this. And now we got a small package here by Julius. Has Alex Shelley rolled up here in the middle of the ring. There's a kick out. There's a standing shooting star there by Julius. What athleticism by the big man, but unfortunately, it's not enough to secure the victory either. And now, sending Alex Shelley into the corner. It's, big elbow there. Back elbow there by Alex Shelley, looking to fight his way back into the match. Big chops here to Julius Creed. Wait a minute, look at, oh my God, once again, The people that are not legal in this matchup are getting involved. Ivy Nia once again trying to distract Alex Shelley. For the love of God, somebody stop this. Is now Chris Sabin once again taking off the apron. Prime opportunity here for the Creeds, and they might be looking for the finish of this thing. Brutus, oh boy, the Brutus ball. Brutus ball, we've got a cover, but Chris Sabin gets up almost immediately. Well, thank goodness for that, and good riddance. As now Chris Sabin starting to fight off Brutus Creed over there in the corner. Brutus, he's got to keep his eye on the ball here. As now here comes Alex Shelley face first. And now takes off Julius Creed off the apron. Here comes Alex Shelley. Julius is down. Brutus is being dealt with. Chad Gable and Ivy Nia look on very intently. Into the corner. Oh boy, we could be seeing the end of it. A little bit of skull and bones by the tag team champions. Down goes Julius. And now Chris Sabin looking to handle Julius on the outside. Now might be looking for the win. Oh my God. Once again, Ivy Nia with another distraction. Now wait a minute, referee Dan Angler, he might have had enough of this one. Meanwhile, Chris Sabin, down goes Brutus. Dan Angler has thrown out Ivy Nia. Ivy Nia is gone. Meanwhile, Chris Sabin has the cover. Chad Gable's wondering where Ivy's going, but he doesn't realize that Motor City has just picked up the victory over his top two guys. Well, there was a lot of distractions, a lot of trials and tribulations in this one for the Motor City Machine Guns. But at the end of the day, they proved exactly why they walked out of Backlash as the World Tag Team Champions. Hard-fought victory here tonight for Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, and that's another win under the belt of the Motor City Machine Guns. The World Tag Team Champions standing tall in the middle of the ring in the middle of San Antonio, Texas. Showing exactly why they walked out of Backlash as the World Tag Team Champions and possibly showing why they are the top tag team here in the entire WWE. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute. That's Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, the New Day. The New Day laying out the World Tag Team Champions, and clearly there's been some frustration building, and they've had enough. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us take a look back at last week here on Monday Night Raw. Braun Breaker of the Vision going one-on-one with the young OG, Javon Evans. Of course, the Vision, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker has just been running amok on Monday Night Raw, just doing basically almost whatever they wanted. Of course, the issue started with the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, a couple of weeks ago, really last month here on Raw, when Braun Breaker took out Fatu backstage before his big matchup on the night with about 3 spears. And of course, it would escalate into where they were supposed to have a matchup, but then Braun Breaker would take up Fatu alongside of Bronson Reed, effectively putting him on the shelf. Javon Evans then would start having issues with the Vision, first taking on Bronson Reed. That would end in a no contest due to Braun Breaker, and the issues have just continued to build as Javon Evans did not like the way that the Vision handled their business with Fatu. Of course, Fatu still on the shelf. That would lead to this matchup that happened last week when we saw Javon Evans nearly pull off the big win. He hit that springboard cutter, and then as you see here, the OG cutter off the top rope. We all thought Javon Evans had the victory over Braun Breaker, but unfortunately, it was not enough to put down the badass. And unfortunately, that would be the last gasp for Javon Evans. As you can see, the straps came down for Braun Breaker, and that was pretty much about all she wrote. And these two destructive spears that you are about to see from Braun Breaker would ultimately put Javon Evans down. But we all know the vision. Clearly, that was not the end of it. Of course, as we've mentioned multiple times already, they took out Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu's been on the show for weeks. We haven't heard from the Samoan Werewolf since. And last week, the Vision might have just put another Raw superstar on the shelf, as after the matchup, we would see a vicious attack from Braun Breaker. Javon Evans barely able to defend himself after the beatdown. Of course, he's still been hurting from a previous beatdown from Braun Breaker and from Backlash. And Braun Breaker would then put Javon Evans through that table right there. And Javon Evans is going to be out for at least a couple of weeks. Yet another man put on the shelf by the Vision. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have been causing havoc. They've been running amok over here on Monday Night Raw. And of course, they are not in the building tonight. And of course, unfortunately, Javon Evans is also not in the building. He'll be out for a couple of weeks. From what I've heard, ladies and gentlemen, a few rumblings, is that the Vision, they are already looking for their next victim. That does not sound good at all for the Monday Night Raw roster. Well, moving on from the Vision's antics, we got to move on to this man's antics, as we got a rematch here from a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. Let's take it a couple of weeks back now, shall we? A couple of weeks ago, here on Raw, Grayson Waller was ready for one-on-one action, but he didn't know who his opponent was, and that would be revealed as this man, the ruler, Oba Femi. It would be Femi versus Waller a couple of weeks ago on Raw, and when this rematch was announced for tonight last week, we looked back at this replay as well. And I'm just going to say what I said last week. It was a beatdown, a true mauling of Grayson Waller. Waller barely got any offense in. He got that one knee right there, and then this punch that followed after. That was it. But then after that, it was just nothing. And Obafemi just made quick work of Grayson Waller. And Waller, he went to WWE officials. He was clearly not happy. He said that if he knew Obafemi was his opponent, he would have been prepared, he would have had time to study tape, and he would have been ready. And I guess he gets what he wants. He gets a rematch with the ruler here tonight. He's had a couple of weeks to prepare for this one, and now we're going to see if Grayson Waller fares any different here tonight against Obafemi. Waller, I hope you actually are ready, and I hope you actually did do the studying that you needed to do on your opponent. Because we all know this man is not going to pull any punches. He is not going to hold back. You can hear the WWE Universe when this man enters the room. They get on their feet and they get up for him. The ruler is ready for war. You hear the Oba chants filling the arena here tonight. This man has become very, very popular amongst the wrestling community. One of the specimens in this wrestling business. One of the specimens that really just has it all. A future WrestleMania main eventer, a future world champion. You can't deny it. Obafemi has that talent. It's just a matter of putting it all together in the right moments. Obafemi and Grayson Waller one-on-one here tonight in San Antonio. Grayson Waller, I hope you're ready because this is what you wanted. You wanted another shot at Obafemi, and you're getting it here tonight in the middle of that 20 by 20. Obafemi and Grayson Waller ready to go. Grayson Waller trying to rush Obafemi, and clearly that's not going to work. Well, this matchup is underway, and out of the gate, Obafemi, it looks like it's going to be a repeat of what happened the last time. As now Obafemi sending Waller to the corner. Oh my goodness, running uppercut. And so far, it's just the same old song, the same old story for Grayson Waller and Obafemi. And now Waller, oh my goodness, face first on the canvas. Obafemi is fired up here tonight. Oh, wait a minute here. Here comes Grayson Waller starting to fight back into this contest, getting a little bit of shots off on Obafemi. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. Waller was trying to build some momentum, but clearly it wasn't going to work long. It wasn't going to last long. Obafemi is back in control of this one. And now Obafemi with the hold of Grayson Waller. An exploder suplex, damn near sending him to the corner. Now it's Obafemi planning right here. Waller is not looking good. Waller, I don't think you wanted to get up to your feet right there. Oh my goodness. Running STO there by Oba. Oh, there's a knee to the side of the head by Grayson Waller. And now here comes Waller trying to fight his way back into the matchup. Big chops here to Obafemi. Obafemi, though, fighting out of the grasp of Grayson Waller. And now, oh dear. We saw this move the last time out. Obafemi, my goodness! I believe Waller caught a little bit of the turnbuckles. Now Obafemi just once again having Waller eat the canvas. And what the hell is going to happen here? As, oh my goodness, the clothesline to the outside. Obafemi sent himself to the outside as well, but the difference is, unlike Waller, he landed on his feet. I mean, what do you even do if you're Grayson Waller? And now you can see Obafemi showing off the power. And now Oba, what's he going to do here? Just continuing to have Waller up. Now he finally brings him down. Once again, Obafemi grabs a hold of Grayson Waller. Now looking to pick him up again. Wait a minute. Waller now taking out the leg of Obafemi. And that just might turn the tide of this matchup. Now Waller has a hold of the... Oh my goodness, has a hold of the ruler. And now Obafemi is down once again. Well, maybe this is going to be different this time out. I mean, Waller's gotten in a lot more offense. He's stunned the ruler a lot more in this one. And now sends him into the barricade. And now face first off the barricade goes the ruler. Here comes the Aussie icon in this one. And face first off the apron again goes the ruler. What's Waller looking to do now? Once again, Obafemi goes into the barricade. Oh, wait a minute here. Grayson Waller might be settling for a damn count-out victory. But Obafemi already getting back to his feet. A count of 9, but no. Oba's back in the ring. Waller still on the attack. He can't believe that Obafemi was able to get back in. Oh, my goodness, a clothesline that almost takes Waller's head off. And now Oba sending Waller to the corner. Oh my goodness, uppercut there in the corner. Grayson Waller is in trouble. Off the ropes goes Waller. And oh my goodness, a big spine buster there by Obafemi. And is Oba looking for the finishing touches on this one. Has Waller up, but Waller able to fight out of it almost immediately. Big punch there by Waller. And down goes Obafemi. Scrambling into the cover goes Grayson Waller. This could be it. Oh my goodness. Big kick out there by Obafemi. And now Waller trying to waste zero time here. Has Oba in the corner. Oh, misses the chop once again. Obafemi. Now Oba misses the strike. Waller gets a strike of his own. And now Grayson Waller has Obafemi on the ropes, but Obafemi with a big back elbow able to back him away. As, oh my God, clubbing blow to the back of the head. Obafemi starting to stir. Grayson Waller's got no idea where he is, and that might be the downfall of the Aussie icon. Oh my goodness, a fall from Grace. It was academic from there. Well, I gotta hand it to Grayson Waller. There was a little bit more fight in him here tonight. He got in a lot more offense. He stunned the ruler a lot more in this one. But unfortunately for Grayson Waller, he didn't get a different result. The result was the same thing. Big shots in all from Grayson Waller. But at the end of the day, Obafemi picks up another victory and gets another one up on the Aussie icon.
Here is your winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, that man right there is a future mega star in this business. And he's already on the fast track to getting there. What a victory here tonight for the ruler. But we've got to switch gears, ladies and gentlemen, because coming up next, the women's world champion is out for redemption. Stephanie Vaquer has the wrist taped up, and she is going to be going one-on-one with one of the most decorated women in WWE history in Natalya. This women bout is coming up next. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in a couple of weeks, we will be back in the Lone Star State, but this time we will be live from Fort Worth, Texas, in the Dickies Arena for the Battleground Premium Live event. It is sure to be a good one on that night, and we already can confirm one matchup. It was announced just a couple of days ago, but it has been made official after the challenge was laid out by the champion Randy Orton. It was accepted by Sami Zayn, and WWE officials worked tirelessly to get this matchup made. It is official. WWE Championship on the line, Randy Orton and Sami Zayn. What a matchup that is going to be. But let's switch gears from Battleground back here live to Monday Night Raw. Taking it back to last week, the Women's World Champion successful at Backlash, crowning herself as a champion, was looking to speak to the WWE Universe, but then she was assaulted, Stephanie Vaquer was, by Natalya. Of course, as we know, Stephanie defeated Natalya on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw, and I guess Natalya held a grudge, and I guess it made it even worse that Natalya saw Stephanie walking around here with the Women's World title. And this vicious assault with this steel chair would ensue, and the champion, we didn't even get to hear anything from the champion. She had to be escorted out. She had to be helped out from ringside as Natalya making it known that she still has some unfinished business with Stephanie Vaquer, and tonight could be the night that everything gets resolved for better or for worse. And here comes the woman responsible for the beatdown. You see the look on Natalya's face. She seemed pretty proud of herself, especially after what she did to the Women's World Champion last week. Well, tonight, Natalya just could get her comeuppance. So I hope she knows what she's doing. the most tenured woman here in the WWE today. So I guess I better not question her too much, but I don't know if poking the bear was the mistake that Natalya wanted to make last week. And the bear that she happened to poke was the Dark Angel. And the Dark Angel is looking for a little bit of payback. The Dark Angel is here tonight for her pound of flesh. The Women's World Champion looks to take out Natalya and finally put this situation behind her and put this situation to bed. Of course, Stephanie Vaquer defeating Becky Lynch to become the Women's World Champion at Backlash. And now tonight, she takes on another tenured member of the WWE roster in Natalya. Of course, as we said, this is a little bit of a rematch from the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. These two would face off on that night. Stephanie Vaquer was victorious. And we are going to see exactly what transpires in this one here tonight. Stephanie Vaquer and Natalya one-on-one. Here we go. This matchup is underway. As you can see here, the collar and elbow tie up immediately here. And now Stephanie gets the control with the headlock. And what's going to happen here is Natalya's trying to fight her way out of this the best she can, but Stephanie Vaquer transitioning to the hammerlock. Good transition there by Stephanie, but now here comes Natalya, able to fight her way back into this. Now has a headlock of her own. So far, these women going back and forth, trying to jock for position here. Wait a minute, Stephanie Vaquer with the roll-up, catching Natalya off guard. There's a kick out at one. Catching Natalya off guard did the Women's World Champion, and now Stephanie Vaquer starting to lay down the strikes. And now there's the drop down, followed by the leapfrog. Stephanie Vaquer with a drop toe hold. Down goes Natty. As now Stephanie has a hold of Natty once again into the corner. Goes Natalya. And right now, Stephanie Vaquer giving it to Natalya, giving all the pain and suffering to Natalya that Natalya handed her last week. As now Stephanie Vaquer, what's she looking to do here? Has a hold of Natalya. Now has her up here. Natalya able to slip out with the reverse DDT. Down goes the champion. Of course, Natalya believes she has been deserving of a lot more opportunities here in the WWE as of late. Well, tonight is another big one. If she can defeat Stephanie, especially as she's the Women's World Champion, that might catapult Natalya to a championship matchup. That's exactly what Natalya wants. So she's got to do what she's got to do to pick up the victory here tonight against Stephanie Vaquer. Of course, Stephanie Vaquer wants to get this Natalya situation to bed. She wants to put Natalya behind her here tonight so she can get on to more pressing opportunities. Of course, we all know the conversation, if you remember, a couple of weeks ago between Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer, trying to see who was the top dog of the women's division. Right now, it is Stephanie Vaquer because she is the champion, but you got to think at some point she wants to visit that matchup with the Nightmare. And of course, there's also women like Io Sky. Of course, maybe a rematch with Becky Lynch is down the road. Hell, maybe the newcomers in Fallon Henley and JC Jane. You never know what could happen in this reign for Stephanie Vaquer. But none of that might happen if Natalya gets her way here tonight. Natalya was going to get back in the ring, but she saw Stephanie Vaquer getting to her feet, and that initiated the clothesline from Natalya. Excuse me. Now Natalya will send Stephanie Vaquer back into the ring. Referee Daphne LaShawn watching the action very, very closely. And now Natalya with a dragon screw. And now, oh my goodness, slamming the leg down onto the floor. Into the cover now, Stephanie LaShawn in perfect position. Kick out by Stephanie. What's Natalya's next game plan here? Has Stephanie right where she wants her. German suplex, my God. Threw her across the ring, did Natalya. Now Natty calling Stephanie to her feet. As, oh my goodness, well, Stephanie didn't get all of that, but she's still in control, starting to fight back here against Natalya. But a block there by Natalya, ducked there by Stephanie. There's a kick to the gut. Here comes the champion, Stephanie Vaquer, starting to fight her way back into the matchup. Has Natalya in the corner, now has Natalya on the top rope. Never mind, Natalya kicks her away. Now there's a kick to the gut, caught by Stephanie into a dragon screw of her own. And now Natalya has to roll to the outside. Natalya now starting to stir, starting to get to her feet. What is Stephanie Vaquer looking to do right here? As, oh my goodness, suicide dive by the champion. Here comes Stephanie Vaquer starting to fight her way back into the match. It's going to happen here. Stephanie now on the apron. Natalya starting to stir back in the ring once again. Step up crossbody there by Stephanie Vaquer. Hooking the leg on the cover. Natalya is in deep trouble. There's one, there's two, and there's a kick out. A kick out by Natalya. Stephanie Vaquer has to do a lot more to win this one and to finally put Natalya behind her. But we know Natalya is not going to go away easy. Here comes Natalya, starting to rain down some more offense. Another German suplex. What does Natalya do now? Has a hold of Stephanie. Stephanie, though, able to fight out of that one. Big back elbow there by Stephanie, followed by forearm and another forearm. Here comes Stephanie Vaquer. Off the ropes goes Natalya. Oh, my goodness, runs right into the drop kick. Excuse me, super kick. As now Stephanie with the snapmare. And oh boy, here we go with the Devil's Kiss. The Devil's Kiss by Stephanie Vaquer in the WWE Universe here in San Antonio is on their feet. And now Stephanie folds it up with the SVB. But unfortunately for the champion, it is still not enough to put Natalya down for good. Devil's Kiss followed by the SVB, but unfortunately Natalya is still in this one. What do you do now if you're Stephanie Vaquer? You hit two of your best shots, but unfortunately it was not meant to be. Now there's another snapmare, possibly looking for the Devil's Kiss once again, but Natalya not going for it. And there's that discus clothesline by Natalya. And now she'll hook the leg, a big hook by Natalya looking to pin the champion, but unfortunately for Natalya, Stephanie gets the shoulder up and Natalya is pissed. Well, now she has a hold of the Women's World Champion, looking to drag her away from those ropes. And now Natalya, she might be looking for her finishing touch here, and it is the sharpshooter in the middle of the ring, and there is nowhere to go for Stephanie Vaquer. She's in the middle of the ring, and Natalya has got this sharpshooter locked in. Will the champion be forced to tap out in the middle of the squared circle? Natalya is wrenching, and she's wrenching good. And you got to think that pain is shooting to the back of Stephanie Vaquer. I don't know how much more of this that Stephanie can take. And so, wait a minute, Stephanie Vaquer with a fight out of it, reverse it, and to push Natalya off. And now Stephanie looking for the roll up here. Has Natalya a little bit bunched up right now. As, she got the shoulder up. Big chop there by Natalya. Reversal by Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie possibly looking for the SBV1. Wait a minute, what the hell is this? Oh my goodness, down onto the knees. But Stephanie is spent. That sharpshooter might have taken a lot out of her because she cannot capitalize on that big maneuver. My goodness, that sharpshooter possibly took too much out of Stephanie because she was not able to capitalize there. She could not capitalize on the big maneuver. And just like that, Natalya is back in this one. And now Stephanie's sent to the outside. Now both women on the outside here. Referee Daphne LaShawn beginning her count. As, big clothesline there by Natalya. Wait a minute, what the hell is Natalya doing over here? She's grabbing that damn steel chair. Well, this is not a no DQ match, but I don't think Natalya really gives a damn. Natalya cracks Stephanie Vaquer over the skull with that damn steel chair. Oh my God. Well, you heard the bell. This one's being thrown out, but Natalya, she does not care as she continues the assault on the champion. Stephanie Vaquer will win this one via DQ, but Natalya is dealing all the damage here tonight. And now Natalya has a hold of Stephanie Vaquer, has her up in this powerbomb position, and oh my God! Powerbomb onto the floor. And once again, she's grabbing that damn chair. Somebody stop this woman. Somebody stop Natalya. This is the second week in a row where this has happened. I don't know what side of Natalya this is, but I don't like it. And Stephanie Vaquer has played victim to this side of Natalya for the second straight week in a row. Now she's grabbing a damn trash can. What does she need that for? The world champion is spin. I don't think Stephanie knows where she is. Now what's going to happen here? Kick to the gut. And oh my God, face first off that trash can. This is ridiculous. Wait a minute, what is Natalya doing now? Get away from the damn announce table. We need to get security or somebody out here, WWE officials, somebody to calm down Natalya and to do something. The match is over. But she continues the assault here on the Women's World Champion. Oh, come on now. Come on, Natalya, think about this. Wait a minute, Stephanie Vaquer trying her hardest to fight back here on the top of the announce table. Getting some strikes in, but Natalya once again slowing her down. Oh my goodness. Come on now, Natalya, don't do this. Natalya now suplex off the damn announce table. And nobody's coming out here to stop this. Daphne LaShawn has been pleading for like the past 5 minutes. At some point, she's got to get physical with Natalya and get her the hell out of here. Oh my God! Moonsault through the table. And Natalya's proud of herself, probably even more proud of what she did last week, even prouder of what she's able to accomplish this week. Unbelievable. Now she has her back in the ring with that discus clothesline again. Just let this be the end of it. Oh, no, of course not. Of course it's not the end of it. Now she's going to lock on another damn sharpshooter. Stephanie's got nowhere to go. She is hurt bad. And Natalya's not letting go. Daphne LaShawn pleading with Natalya to let go, but she is not listening. Once again, another vicious assault by Natalya to the Women's World Champion. Natalya making it known here tonight once again as she lays Stephanie Vaquer laying in the middle of the ring once again. We need to get some medical attention out here for our Women's World Champion. As Natalya, this woman has become completely unhinged I don't know what this side is of Natalya, but all I know is somebody's got to put a stop to this. Back live here on Monday Night Raw as we take another look back to last week. We would see the reemergence of one AJ Lee. Of course, AJ Lee made her big return to the WWE once again at Backlash, costing Becky Lynch the Women's World title. AJ would then go on a tangent last week, basically saying that Becky Lynch, she got what she deserved, and that AJ Lee was there to basically humble Becky Lynch a little bit. Becky Lynch always saying that she should be the Women's World Champion, the only person that deserved to be champion, and AJ Lee said she was not going to allow Becky to run over the women's division like that, and so she took matters into her own hands at Backlash. Becky Lynch, of course, was not too happy about it, confronting AJ Lee about it, and clearly AJ Lee saying that Becky Lynch has an attitude problem, and that attitude is the reason why she is in this predicament and why she is not champion. AJ Lee saying she would be damned if she let Becky Lynch run all over the women's division when she could have a say in it. AJ Lee basically saying whenever Becky Lynch has a huge opportunity, AJ will be there to steal it away from her like a thief in the night. But Becky Lynch clearly taking matters into her own hands as well, attacking AJ Lee with that kendo stick and putting her out of commission. Becky Lynch possibly getting rid of the one obstacle that could possibly stop her from once again obtaining gold here in the WWE. Of course, AJ Lee, no major injuries from that attack. She should be good. And whenever we see her next, you got to think she's coming right back after Becky Lynch with yet another purpose to stop the man. Well, here comes the leader of MFT, Solo Sikoa. And Solo made his presence known last week as well. It was after the main event, the Seth Rollins Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge. Seth Rollins holding an open challenge, an open contract for anybody to have an Intercontinental Championship matchup. That would be answered by the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. And what a matchup it was last week. What a main event it was. Seth Rollins would retain the Intercontinental title. And after the show of respect and everything with Sheamus, we would see this man hit the scene. Solo Sikoa would rush the ring, ambush Seth Rollins, and lay him out with his own Intercontinental title. And Solo Sikoa is here tonight to explain himself and to explain his actions. Basically explaining why he did what he did last week. We all know that Solo has been dying to get that Intercontinental title, saying that that would start the build-up. That would start the movement to where his family would begin to feast. And now without the Intercontinental Championship, what is the next step for MFT? What is the next step for Solo Sikoa? Well, hopefully we can figure that out right here, right now. Well, Solo Sikoa clearly expressing his frustrations about what happened at Backlash, about how Seth Rollins took the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Wait a minute. Well, speaking of the WWE Intercontinental Champion, there is Seth freaking Rollins, and he's not hearing any of it. The brawl is on as Rollins is getting his hands on Solo Sikoa. Well, Seth Rollins, we knew that he was in the building. We knew he was lurking. And now is the time for Rollins to finally get back on the leader of MFT. Seth Rollins getting his pound of flesh on Solo Sikoa, the man that he pinned at Backlash to win the Intercontinental Championship. Like Solo said, he had Javon Evans right where he wanted him off the spinning Solo, but then out of nowhere, a big stomp by Seth Rollins, stomping Solo's head into the mat would secure him the Intercontinental Gold. And now the brawl is on between these two men. Solo wants that Intercontinental Championship, and he will do anything it takes. He will beat down Seth Rollins for it until Rollins concedes. But I don't think Seth Rollins is going to give up the Intercontinental Championship too soon and too easy. As now Solo is sent to the outside. And now Seth Rollins eyeing up Solo Sikoa. Here comes Rollins through the air. Down goes Solo, and Seth Rollins is standing tall here tonight in San Antonio, but now JC Mateo running down the ramp and getting him some of the visionary. Well, we all know that MFT surely have the numbers on Seth Rollins, and we are possibly seeing the numbers game come into play once again here tonight. But Seth Rollins, he's not going to back down. It's still really a 1v1 situation with Solo still out of it at ringside. Seth freaking Rollins now raining the strikes here on JC Mateo. Look at the Intercontinental Champion go. And now the drop kick in the corner. Seth freaking Rollins, he said it last week, he's ready for all comers. He doesn't care who it is. He'll take on the entire family if he has to, just to remain the Intercontinental Champion. As right now, Seth Rollins with the hold of JC Mateo, looking to take out the trash once again. Oh, wait a minute here. Well, here comes Natalya. Oh my God. And the numbers game, even though I just said Seth Rollins is willing to take on the entire family, you got to think at some point it is just not going to work out. As Tala Tonga is here and the big man is getting the best of the visionary. I don't think Seth Rollins prepared for any of this. We all know how great Rollins is. But it's a 5v1 situation when we're talking about the entire family, and we've already seen 3 of MFT out here. Solo Sikoa, JC Mateo, and now the big man, Tala Tonga. And at some point, Seth Rollins is going to get worn down, and that is exactly what we're seeing here. Oh my God. Nearly folded Rollins in half with that power bomb. Seth Rollins is going to try to get up on his feet. He's still going to try to fight. But at the end of the day, what is it going to take? Oh, my God. And now Seth Rollins, he walked right into the lion's den, and the lions are eating. Solo Sikoa said Seth Rollins was the reason that his family started to go hungry. Well, the prey just walked right into the territory. And oh my God, and it seems like Seth Rollins might not be walking out of this alive. Now Tala Tonga once again gonna put Seth Rollins back into powerbomb position. And Seth Rollins is laid out in the middle of San Antonio. Now Seth Rollins here, trying to fight back as much as he can, trying to get some type of separation, some type of breather. But here comes the rest of MFT, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And the numbers are just too much for Seth freaking Rollins. And now Solo Sikoa is back on his feet, calling off the dogs. He's in the middle of the ring. He's got the damn Intercontinental Championship again. Rollins has been beat down, and Solo finishes it off. And for the second week in a row, Solo Sikoa has left the Intercontinental Champion laying, looking at the ceiling. Well, oh my goodness. Well, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is our main event of the evening. Io Sky going one-on-one with Jacy Jayne. Fallon Henley will be at ringside. Jacy Jayne, her first match as an official member of the brand, is the main event. Another look back at last week here on Monday Night Raw. It was the Queen, Charlotte Flair, and she was out for her pound of flesh as she went one-on-one with one half of the Kabuki Warriors and Asuka with Kairi Sane at ringside. Of course, this has been a developing issue really over the past month and some change between these individuals. Of course, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, a tag team. Alexa Bliss taken out by the Empress Asuka backstage a couple of weeks ago, the Raw just before Backlash. And we haven't seen the goddess since. We haven't seen Alexa Bliss since. She's been out for the past 2 weeks, and Charlotte Flair was out looking for revenge. And with this natural selection right here, it would be the revenge that Charlotte Flair was looking for. She would get the victory over Asuka and getting a little bit of payback for her best friend. But that was not the end of it last week, as Kairi Sane clearly was not happy about what went down, and she would take matters into her own hands, taking out the Queen. A vicious assault by one half of the Kabuki Warriors, and that's what they've been doing with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, just assaulting these two women, just beating them down to the point where they're going to be on the shelf. And this beat down on Charlotte Flair will resulting in her getting some injuries, and she's going to be on the shelf for a little bit. At least that's as far as we know. At least she should be. As you can see right here, the piece of resistance for the Kabuki Warriors, the chair attack here on Charlotte Flair. And of course, Alexa Bliss was nowhere to be found because she was still on the shelf at home recovering. Watching this beat down at home as Asuka and Kairi Sane basically had their way with the Queen last week. But Alexa Bliss is now cleared, ladies and gentlemen, and now the roles have reversed. Now Alexa Bliss is looking for some payback for her best friend. The goddess will be back in action here on Monday Night Raw next week as Alexa Bliss goes 1v1 with one half of the Kabuki Warriors in Kairi Sane. And you gotta know, somewhere Asuka will be lurking. This and a lot more on Raw next week. But it is main event time here in San Antonio. And here come two women that have caused just utter chaos ever since they have made their names known here on Monday Night Raw. The only thing these two ladies have caused ever since their arrival here on Monday Night Raw is chaos. Of course, Jacy Jayne would make her first appearance on the Red Brand when we didn't even know she was an official member of the roster. She would make her appearance a couple of weeks ago when she cost Rhea Ripley a matchup against Becky Lynch to go to Backlash in order to have a chance to become the Women's World Champion. Then the next week, Rhea Ripley would come out here, call out Jacy Jayne, and that is when we would see the arrival of Fallon Henley. And it has been chaos upon chaos whenever these two women are on the scene. They call themselves Fatal Influence. And tonight, Jacy Jayne is looking to put the fatal touch and influence Io Sky to give up here tonight. And this would be a huge win for Jacy Jayne. Of course, she's got her partner in crime, Fallon Henley, with her. And Io Sky is looking to do one good for Rhea Ripley here tonight. And Jacy Jayne, she's got a beat down coming. The genius of the Sky is in the building. And she is looking to get her pound of flesh. It's crazy. She just seems like everybody in the women's division is just out to get each other here on Monday Night Raw. Io Sky came to the aid of her best friend Rhea Ripley last week when Rhea was outnumbered by Fatal Influence. And when it looked like they were about to put the nail in the coffin, that is when Io Sky came out to even the odds and Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne headed for the hills. We are going to see what happens this week. It is a sanctioned matchup and a tough task for Jacy Jayne here tonight, taking on a multi-time women's champion, a multi-time women's tag team champion, and hell, even a Miss Money in the Bank. Io Sky, very accomplished. Jacy Jayne, of course, very accomplished in her own right. We are going to see exactly what transpires in this one right here, right now. Collar and elbow tie up here between these two women. Who is going to get the upper hand in this one to start things off? And oh, look at this here. Jacy Jayne able to push back Io Sky to the corner. And oh my goodness, well, we kind of knew that at some point she would try to take some type of shortcut to get the upper hand in this match, and that is exactly what we just saw. Io Sky, though, not going to let that go lightly. Io Sky starting to fight back here in this contest. This is the main event here tonight. You got to think this is exactly the attention that Jacy Jayne and Fallon Henley wanted. That is exactly why they immediately came here to Monday Night Raw and started causing chaos. Fatal Influence wants the spotlight, and that's exactly what they have here tonight. The main event spotlight for Jacy Jayne, and Fallon Henley is there to support her Fatal Influence sister. Oh my goodness, a big spinning kick there by Io Sky. Jacy Jayne gets to her feet. Io, though, off the apron into the Hurricane Rana. And now Io goes on top of the barricade in front of the WWE Universe, and oh, a Meteora! Well, both women caught a little bit of that. That didn't feel so good for Io, landing right on her knees, but regardless, she did what she had to do to take down Jacy Jayne. And oh, Fallon Henley tried to get a hold of Io Sky. That didn't work for her. And now Io, oh, the step up into the springboard drop kick. Into the cover now goes Io Sky, looking for the quick win, but there's a kick out. Just before the 2 count does Jacy Jayne. Fallon Henley took off the turnbuckle padding. Our referee, though, not having any of it, immediately going to make sure that is taken care of. And now Io Sky, what's she going to do here? Off the ropes here as, oh my goodness, look at the athleticism of Io Sky, another drop kick. Jacy Jayne just could not keep up. Oh, wait a minute here. Look at this now. Fallon Henley getting involved. We saw this earlier with American-made. Ivy Nile was very distracting in that one. And it seems like Fallon Henley is going to do whatever it takes to make sure Jacy Jayne has the upper hand in this match. We saw that she tried to grab Io earlier before she got up on the apron. Fallon Henley might be very hands-on in this contest here tonight. Just like that, Jacy Jayne is in control and Io Sky is in trouble. You see the way Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne carry themselves. They carry themselves like superstars. Without a doubt, these two women are very, very good. They have very, very high potential here on Monday Night Raw. They carry themselves like superstars because they are superstars. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Of course, both of these women champions in their time in NXT. Of course, Jacy Jayne, multi-time NXT Women's Champion, multi-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. Fallon Henley, former Women's North American Champion, former Speed Champion, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. They know how to win gold. It just seems like this new attitude of theirs is going to, hopefully, they're hoping it is going to skyrocket them to the top here on Monday Night Raw. Oh my God, a big pump kick. Right now, this new attitude has Jacy Jayne all over a former women's champion. Io sent back into the ring. Jacy will follow. And we've got a cover here as you see Fallon Henley in the back of your screen taking off another turnbuckle padding. There's a kick out by Io. Referee Chad Patton once again making sure that is not taken advantage of. Fallon Henley probably not too happy that her plan keeps getting foiled. Now Jacy Jayne, she's going to head to the top rope here. Jacy Jayne now. Oh, there's a drop kick from the top as Fallon Henley looks on very intently, probably very happy of what she's seeing right now. Io sent to the corner. Jacy Jayne is in control. Down to the other corner as, oh my goodness, another drop kick. This one a shotgun drop kick into the corner. Shades of Finn Balor right there. Into the cover now, and another kick out by Io. Well, Fallon's not too happy about that count. Neither is Jacy Jayne. But they've got to continue on the attack. And now Fallon, what the hell is she doing? She's grabbing a damn kendo stick now. Referee Chad Patton once again making sure that is taken care of. Io Sky in deep trouble. And Jacy with a shoulder breaker. And right now, Jacy Jayne in full control. Of course, no Rhea Ripley here tonight, it seems. Still recovering from the attack last week. But Io Sky is well equipped to take care of business tonight on her own. Oh, a German there. And now Jacy Jayne rolling out to the apron, and Fallon Henley, a look of concern now spreading across her face into the drop kick. Down goes Jacy right in front of Fallon Henley. And now Io Sky starting to fire herself up alongside the WWE Universe. Suicide dive! And Fallon Henley, all she can do is watch as Io Sky starts to take the momentum away from Jacy Jayne. And now, wait a minute, Fallon Henley putting her hands on Io Sky. That's not allowed. Chad Patton should throw out Fallon Henley for that. Unbelievable. Fallon Henley getting physical, putting her hands on Io Sky. That's a result of disqualification. But this matchup continues to go. This is ridiculous. Get that woman out of here. Get that cowgirl out of here. Regardless, Io Sky is going to continue to fight. Regardless of the numbers game. It seems like that has been the theme of Monday Night Raw here tonight. The numbers game. But Io Sky is going to continue to fight until there is no breath left in her lungs. Until she has nothing left to give. And there's a head scissors takedown. And now Io Sky. She's going to head to the top rope. Call Jacy Jayne to her feet here. She's very, very close. I don't know if Io, yeah, she just completely jumped over her. I don't think Io took that into account. Damn near took herself out right there. Jacy trying to take advantage, but nothing going. And now Jacy's into the corner. Drop kick in the corner by Io. And now, wait a minute. Once again, Fallon Henley getting into the ear of Io Sky. I mean, there's got to be enough that we've seen in this matchup to get Fallon Henley thrown out of here, is there? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Fallon, though, could not give Jacy Jayne the momentum. Instead, Io Sky saw the attack coming into the Lamahi straw now. Has Jacy Jayne all wrapped up here. Chad Patton in perfect position. Kick out at 2. And now Io with a roll through, double foot stomp down onto Jacy Jayne. Jacy having to roll out to the apron here. And now Io bringing her back in by force. Fallon Henley watches on as Jacy Jayne is starting to get into some deep trouble. Io now hits the snapmare. Here comes Io Sky stepping over her, and another drop kick to the face. And now Io Sky might be calling for the finishing touch in this one. What's going to happen here? Io now sending Jacy Jayne to the corner. And usually when she does that, we all know what she's looking for. And now Jacy Jayne now raining down the strikes. And now off the ropes into that big knee strike that has won her so many matchups in her career. Into the cover, hooking the leg of Io Sky, but unfortunately it's not enough. And we saw she hit the rope. There wasn't much room between that rope and Io Sky. Maybe just did not have enough momentum on that. But Jacy Jayne is going to continue the assault, trying to take down Io Sky. Io Sky, though, fighting back as much as she can. Fallon Henley going back and forth with the WWE Universe. She needs to focus on her best friend here in Jacy Jayne. As Io Sky right now is starting to fight her way back into this matchup. Jacy hasn't gotten a strike off in like the past few minutes. To the corner now goes Jacy Jayne once again. Io trying to follow up. Has JC Jane in the tree of woe. What's she gonna do here? Io Sky, another drop kick to the face. What's gonna happen now? JC Jane might be in the drop zone, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Io's gonna decide against whatever she was doing. Gonna make sure JC Jane stays down there. Double knees to the gut. Wait a minute here. Now Io heading to the top rope. Wait a minute. Io Sky over the moonsault. Oh my goodness, over the moonsault. I'm sorry for the voice crack, but she's got the cover, and JC Jane powers up the shoulder. Oh my. Io Sky with over the moonsault, and unfortunately JC Jane kicks out, and once again Fallon Henley getting herself involved. This is ridiculous. Throw that woman out of ringside right now. What more do you have to see, Chad Patton? What more do you have to see this woman do? There's that discus forearm, that rolling encore. You've got to be kidding me. She's going to steal the damn match. No, she's not. And JC Jane is furious. And oh my God. I mean, she's almost about to get physical with Chad Patton, telling him to count faster. Oh my goodness. Now Io Sky now. Locking in the La Mahi straw. Once again, Chad Patton. What the hell? What is that slow count? That's not as fast as he was counting earlier. Wait a damn minute. What did JC Jane... Was he intimidated by JC Jane so much that he gave Io that slow count? Well, that's just ridiculous. A little bit of favoritism there from our referee after JC Jane got all in his face. Oh, another drop kick from the top rope. Well, there's something fishy once again. I don't even know what to say anymore. Fallon Henley, once again, getting involved, distracting Io Sky. What more does she have to do to finally get thrown out of this thing? Oh, wait a minute. Well, finally, I think Chad Patton has finally had enough. This should have been done earlier, but Fallon Henley is going to have to hit the showers. And good riddance for that. Finally, it's an actual 1v1 matchup. And now Io finally has JC Jane all to herself into the... Oh my God, Chad Patton hit the ground. I think JC Jane bumped into it, and I think Io Sky just realized that there is no referee. Well, it was unintentional. I don't think Io... She didn't try to take him out. She only really tried to take out JC. Hopefully Chad Patton is okay. I mean, he took a hard fall after JC Jane kind of bumped into him after that springboard drop kick. And now JC Jane seems to be back in control of this one. And who knows, that shotgun dropkick, that springboard dropkick, that probably could have ended the match, but we'll never know because Chad Patton was knocked out. And now these two women will go back and forth. I gotta say, it's been an impressive showing for JC Jane here tonight. Her first matchup as an official member of the Monday Night Raw roster. And she has gone toe-to-toe with one of the best in the business. Io and JC going back and forth, neither woman missing a step. And now JC Jane gets one last punch, and now these women are in a hockey fight. Everybody on the edge of their seats here in San Antonio. Io Sky getting the upper hand, big kick to the gut, followed up by that spinning kick. Could that do it? Could JC Jane be out cold? Chad Patton right in position, but unfortunately it's not enough for Io again. And now Io tries the kick, nothing going there. JC Jane, what's her game plan? Big chop there. And now JC, natural selection. Takes down Io Sky. JC Jane not wasting any time. Another rolling encore right to the jaw of Io Sky. Oh my goodness, she got her. JC Jane with a major upset here tonight. Oh my God. Jacy Jayne came to Monday Night Raw to cause chaos. And cause chaos she has done ever since she first made her appearance known. Jacy Jayne has just pinned a former women's champion. And this just might be the biggest win of her career. My God, what are we gonna do? Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne, they might have just taken over. With that victory right there over one of the best in the world, Jacy Jayne has just pinned Io Sky and stamped her name in this women's division. Fatal Influence is here on the red brand, and they are here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait a minute here. Now Fallon Henley, she's made her way back to ringside, and this could only mean bad things for the Genius of the Sky. Io can't believe what happened here tonight. Oh, no. Oh, no. Chad Patton, you've got to stop these two. These two have been doing this for the past couple of weeks. Now Fallon, oh, wait a minute, Rhea Ripley is here. Well, I didn't think Rhea Ripley would be in the building. But it seems like she's here, and she is here to back up Io the same way Io backed her up last week. And Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne once again heading for the hills. Oh, wait a minute, never mind. They ran back into the ring, and now we've got a brawl between these ladies going down right here tonight in San Antonio. Oh my goodness, we've got to restore some damn order. Wait a minute. I'm getting word here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a matchup next week. We've got a matchup made next week. Rhea Ripley, she will get back in the ring, and she is going to face the other half of Fatal Influence, that being Fallon Henley. A lot is going down right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen, and it seems like the chaos is not done. The megastar is back. Oh my goodness, so much has just transpired within the past few minutes here on Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley and Fallon Henley one-on-one next week after Rhea and Io were having a brawl with Fatal Influence after Jacy Jayne just picked up the biggest win of her career. And now LA Knight is back out here after he tried to get Gunther to say yes to the challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at Battleground. And it seems like LA Knight's not taking no for an answer. So much going down. This is the chaos that Monday Night Raw has been bringing for the past month. Well, you just heard LA Knight. He ain't leaving San Antonio until he gets what he wants. Wait a minute! That's damn Ludwig Kaiser, the running buddy of Gunther. And Ludwig Kaiser is out here because I guess he did not like the disrespect that LA Knight was giving Gunther. Well, Ludwig Kaiser now taking the fight to LA Knight. A brawl is ensued once again here tonight on Monday Night Raw. It's, oh my God, clothesline by LA Knight nearly took Ludwig's head off. LA Knight came out here telling Gunther to be a man, saying be the wrestler that you say you are and face me for the World Heavyweight Championship in Fort Worth. And clearly so far we have yet to get an answer from Gunther, and LA Knight, he ain't gonna stop, and he said he ain't leaving until he gets some type of answer here tonight. And I guess that answer is Ludwig Kaiser. I guess LA Knight has no problem putting the boots to Ludwig here in San Antonio. Now Ludwig put on the ropes, and LA Knight taking out the trash. Down goes Ludwig Kaiser. The megastar clearly standing tall as we, oh, wait a minute, the World Heavyweight Champion getting the jump on LA Knight. And Gunther has laid out LA Knight here tonight. Unbelievable. And now stomping out LA Knight once again. Wait a minute, it's CM Punk. CM Punk is here in San Antonio. He said he still had issues with Gunther, and here tonight, he's not putting him to bed. Evening the odds. And now we've got a standoff here between CM Punk and the megastar. And now CM Punk extending the hand. They may not have to be friends, but they at least have a common enemy. The handshake between LA Knight and CM Punk. And wait a minute, I'm getting word once again, another match has been made official for next week. What a barn burner we have right here. Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser and the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther taking on the team of LA Knight and CM Punk. Monday Night Raw looks juicy next week. We will see you there. Good night from San Antonio.